welcome to my channel. I am Clara Levine and today we are going to be doing the next part of Beacon Pines. As you remember in the last episode, we managed to find Mr. Nuncreed's secret base, which was hidden in a telephone booth that nobody ever uses with a secret code. So we are going to carry on from there and see whatever secrets we can find out about this Operation Sparkplug. So let us investigate this little board. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh dear, what have you done, Rollo? Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? You've obviously set something off. Some kind of secret alarm, maybe. Hide? Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Oh God. Shit. 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 Why is everyone saying that? Awesome. That's more like it. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password, that they love anything that makes them feel clever. They? Who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. I'm pretty sure you would, but yeah. Hold on now. I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
God, what's he gonna do to us now? Not like we have many places to escape to. Though why did he come through one of the pipes and we went through the elevator? Unless he has another secret passageway. You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. Yes, all of this secretive mission stuff and Gran and her secret mission and... That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So, you were his psychic? No. We were partners. He helped the patients, and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Oh God, Rollo. You've just annoyed him now. Don't annoy the person that could potentially trap us in this little basement. Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people, but the thing I could never get him to understand was it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Oh, that's not good. Does that mean Sharper Valentine killed his dad? Oh, it's not really sounding good for him or us. Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Well, possibly shouldn't have taken his deal in the first place. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
Oh God, what's he gonna do to us now? How can we escape? I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? I don't get what's so funny about the situation, but maybe he's got a plan. You really don't know? My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she? Wouldn't you like to know?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Well, she's in on it as well with the Valentines, obviously. Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. Yeah, it was a bit cooler than this. This kind of reminds me of a laundromat or something. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man. Yeah, she's definitely got a lot more cool stuff going down in her basement.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
Oh my God, he's gone crazy. Crazy eyes. You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Yeah, and a big explosion of ice, possibly. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. Alright, Mr. Nuncreed. Crazy man, shaking child? I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. Fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source, so the fountain is definitely the source then of where I'm assuming the ice comes and we all get frozen to death. What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze, and dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. There you go. We found out Gran's been freezing us all this time. Twice now. So Gran's obviously interfering and freezing us. You all need to run. Run? Where? Away. As far away from this town as you can. There. Head west and don't look back. It's not gonna help us running away. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. It's gotta be done. See you on the other side. You good? Yeah. I love this town. Yeah, you obviously got the excitement that you wanted from this town after all.
Chapter 8.
Ooh, what are we gonna find following Mr. Nuncreed down this random pipeline?
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments.
Oh god, decent travel system then.
Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along.
Like a roller coaster ride. That's gotta be pretty fun.
She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee.
Rolo's obviously loving it. Who wouldn't?
Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth.
It's awesome. Free
Then,
roller coaster
all of a
ride.
sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
There goes Rolo. There's me. There's Bex. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Ah, lovely Rolo, considering we were all following you. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold? Doesn't look like it got on any of us. Oh, Rolo, seriously? It didn't feel like we travelled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. I think I actually recognise this area. Wasn't this where all the flowers? And that's our dad's grave. Although what happened to the giant tree? Does that mean that we actually missed the big freeze that we kept getting frozen with twice? We've actually now missed it. Looks like it. So instead of being frozen, this is like the after effects. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well versed on all things Beacon Pine, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it! It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Oh my god, Rolo, no. He's not an alien. He was just in on it. On this whole experiment thing. Rolo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by travelling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. More of those dodgy chemicals over there. Oh god, everything's just been frozen and destroyed. Haha, he's not going to be napping here anymore, is he? Oh my god, it's broken all the windows and everything.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center.
where is everyone? Why are there no random frozen people everywhere? Kind of would have thought, considering the festival and all that we missed, you'd see like loads of frozen people.
He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
Caught up to him, even though we were super slow. We caught up to him.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss.
Oh my god, what have you done, Gran?
Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
It's not gonna explode and then melt everything, is it? Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing. I assure you, this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. What are you on about, Gran? There's obviously more to this mystery than we thought, but still, what are you doing, Gran? Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive. So it was partly Mr. Nuncreed's fault that our father died, possibly to do with that dodgy deal with the Valentines.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very, very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now, that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
Oh God.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions.
I know. What have they all gotten themselves into? This whole big freeze, big explosions, all linked to do with Luca's parents.
The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Well, it's our only option currently, so
And in the stillness,
we'll be
he
getting
began
into
to
weep.
weep. It was all just too much.
Bless him. It's a lot for one person, really.
Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow.
It's that cold. Just frozen tears.
Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
Maybe you should have kind of told me more from the beginning instead of never being there. You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness.
Oh my god, what are you doing, Gran?
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
Oh god, what's gonna happen? Giant explosion. You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to.
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Oh god. What have you done, Gran? And
Gran only had
frozen
time
us.
to spin around and run to Luca.
god damn, you froze us, Gran.
Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act.
Well, not from the giant freeze, it froze everything, so that was not gonna work.
Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest.
So, we survived one freeze just to be frozen again.
Her warm embrace froze in an instant.
Yeah, it was super cold.
That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers.
So many secrets, and so many different secrets for each person. It's like they're all on different sides, but the same side, but different sides.
The end. Well, that was dire.
Yeah, just a little bit.
On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from.
Yeah, from the fountain. Several times. But at least we know where it's coming from, but there doesn't seem to be a way to avoid it yet.
Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Oh. Well, that bit might be a little bit more difficult. Right, so going down this one, the only other option we have is the chill, which I'm not 100% sure if that'll get us anywhere, but you know, worth a try. So we have chill as our third option.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head,
You woke up
gathering
quickly
his
and
wits.
easily. Golly, I sure got my bell
He
rung.
looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rolo just got a little startled. Rolo's here.
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Oh, well, we'll just all be out, shall we? Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
I can't see that ending well for it. Well, good for us. Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes?
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? Well, that one's definitely hugely strange, but yeah. I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense
He
in
edged
time.
imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. Oh, this is not half dodgy, him just edging towards the stairs, knowing our luck, running up it and trapping us down here. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
Is he gonna switch off and do some dodgy stuff? A past that must be
He
brought to.
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late.
Yeah, you could see that happen
Rollo
in a
confirmed what
mile
they
off.
all heard.
He's locked the door. He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down here and let the adults handle
They
this.
looked bewildered at each other.
Wow, Luca. Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck. She is right, though. That was an awful job. Shouldn't have trusted him.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck, so unless we're able to lockpick from the inside, we're kind of screwed. Or unless she's got some kind of secret exit.
This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic.
No, it does. That is definitely not how it goes in Hank Atomic, but we kind of went with Luca, and that's what we got.
For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town.
Well, it kind of does rely on us, to be fair. Because everybody else seems to be screwing it up and freezing us. So, you know, kind of need to be.
Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right.
Nah, mate, you fucked up.
Only a hollow
Big.
croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah. That means for now we have completed this side as much as we can, so we are going to have to go back to the other side and find out what we can do that way. We now have an extra option for which is flight instead of fight when we were stuck in the treehouse, and then we've also got tickle as our second option when going up against the bullies. So I think for now possibly go with a tickle and see where that leads us. Maybe we won't turn him into some kind of mutant this time.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool?
Yup.
Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
Look at her squirming. What the? Tish, is she tickling you?
Yup. Hi up. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Hi up. Hi up. Hi up.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
Hi up.
What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening
Iggy's
us.
eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere to be. See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
We're not going to turn him into a mutant this time then. Just by tickling his friends as you did a runner. Oh. Whoa. What a little creep. You just splashed the mutant stuff onto you, Bex. That's what turned him into a mutant last time, and now instead. Beck, I think you got a little ooze in your hair.
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? It depends what are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh god.
Chapter 4.
Oh wow. So instead of turning Matey into a mutant, we've now dyed Beck's hair with mutant juice.
The best policy.
And we have no Rolo, which means it's just us, really.
Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess.
Bless her. She got her excitement, but she probably didn't want the whole mature look going on.
Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rolo was his primary concern.
Ah, yeah, because Rolo's still missing on this version. Because he got caught. God damn it. Poor Rolo, poor Bex. We're not doing very well. Oh my god. Your head looks old because it probably is old. I don't want to be touching that mutinous gloop that's spilled out everywhere. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with grey hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
They must be well worried about poor Rolo. That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rolo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling.
Well, yeah, Rolo's been missing for ages. What'd you expect?
But this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rolo and I weren't just playing in Weepwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit. And we hid in a dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. Finally admitting the truth for her. You never know, she might help. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
We can do this. We can find Rolo. It's not your fault, Luca. Rolo's gonna be okay. I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
What you gonna do, Roxy? I'm gonna fix this, Luca. Go home. But I wanna help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to that little treehouse you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rolo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
I suppose so, Roxy. Don't think that's going to be doing much good, but then again, Rolo might contact us via the radio, so you never know. You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do I have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Just don't touch the puddle. You might become mutated as well. Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. It's because it's creepy and chemical. Goddamn sign keeping us out. Right, so back to the treehouse it is, I suppose. What about Beck? Poor Beck. Can't go that way. Can't go and grab Beck with her grey hair. Oh dear. It's not going very well so far, is it?
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
We'll be catching you just about to go into your secret laboratory underneath the telephone box. Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who are you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. The whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rolo yet? It's obviously not a waste of money, considering you use it all the time. Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rolo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rolo likes to play his little pranks. You think this was a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? It's not going to be a prank. He's obviously missing. Oh my god, I can't believe you suggest that. No, Rolo's a Rolo. But he ain't going to go this far. He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know? How would you know that? Oh. Was it Mr. Nuncreed that took him? Because didn't we work out that it was possibly Mr. Nuncreed in that suit that we struggled to because we broke the mask and it was hidden down in his basement? So is it him? Did Mr. Nuncreed kidnap Rolo? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know? Yes! I know you took him!
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there is something you know. Something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face.
Nah, mate, I don't trust you.
There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all.
Yes, because you know what's going on. With all your secrets and your hidden basement. Is Rolo down in your hidden basement, just trapped? That is actually a possibility, because I doubt the signal would be brilliant down there.
It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
Ooh, he's definitely sounding guilty. There was a shame lurking behind. Yeah, probably shame because he stole Rolo. Oh my god.
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
Or maybe he will kidnap us as well. Yesterday, Rolo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rolo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. Does that mean you're the one that dropped the dead body on us? The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go sulking in someone's dumpster. It wasn't garbage. We were hiding in the dumpster. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. I'm pretty sure it was a body that you dumped. No, there was a name tag. It said, Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
Yeah, you were definitely behind it. I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
He's gonna try and kidnap us now as well. Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourself, can you? That just makes it sound even worse, like it probably was definitely your fault that our father died. Because the way you're saying that kind of makes you even more guilty. We were all so close to being done with
a firm
this.
shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
Oh god, he has got Rolo. 100%. What are you doing? It's out of my
The door
hands now.
latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet.
I'm guessing we're gonna get to see
The
Rolo
inside of
again.
the phone booth was now a loose capsule, plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view.
Oh god, who else is gonna be in hazmat suits hiding here?
Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much.
Oh god. Have we screwed ourselves over by telling him?
The end. Wait. No.
Yeah, we screwed ourselves over by telling him.
This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
And we have no Beck to even help us. So we're going to be stuck down in that basement just like forever. But that has definitely opened up another route. We just have to come back later. Right, let's go with our currently last option, the flight. Now with our kind of possibly new friend being turned into a mutant because we accidentally, you know, pushed him into the chemicals and he went all funny.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
Considering our fight option meant that we got taken over by the whole horde of
He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon,
William Kerr's
aiming
horde.
it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Oh, nice. We actually managed to get it to work this time so we can actually possibly escape. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Let's get out of here. Sorry. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels. Oh god, he's still going to be
Luca and
after
Iggy
us.
winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage.
Oh, it's always the way when you're trying to run through a wood. Escape the whole herd that William Kerr is sending after us of his employees.
After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the?
Oh god,
That
what's
was all
waiting
he
in the
was able to
clearing?
say before Iggy slammed into his back.
They just crash. Should have given me some warning.
The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice.
Ooh, are we going to be starting to lead towards this icy
In
ending?
fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs.
Ooh, and so it begins. The icy, frozen area that we're going to have to try and get through now.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, before we freeze to death.
Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. No, we're back in the flower field. Which is now covered in snow and ice. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? We missed the first big freeze again to come to the possible second. All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Well, we kind of know where home is. It's just not going to be there anymore because it's frozen over and probably mostly destroyed. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report to Mr. Kerr? God damn you, Mr. Kerr. Still within safe ranges. I wouldn't call that under safe ranges, really. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Really doesn't look under control, though. I mean, the whole area is frozen. How is that under control? Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. God, hazmat suit blokes. Covered in chemical splashes. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. Think it's a town sign. Yeah, it's our town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? Beacon Pines? There couldn't be another town this deep into Wheat Woods. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Can you shake it? Oh. Ah, snowballs.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
Yeah, it's Beacon Pines, just icy, covered in snow. That doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? It's been colder than normal lately, but it's not been that cold for a sudden instant freeze. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle, we fought it before. It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. Cold and mutated. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. So are we not going back to your house then? We're not... Oh. Luca! Luca, are you
Luca
there?
had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Yeah, with Rolo. It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in
Luca
those
looked
woods.
at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honour of meeting your father, but your mum was sure a handful. Oh God, what? You obviously have something to do with our missing mum, so...
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Screw you, Kerr. We don't want to talk to you. We gotta keep moving.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow.
Yeah, leading to
Two
one of
faint
the
seams
pipes.
were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. Well, not from this side of the story you haven't, but... the other side of the story, he came up through that after escaping. We can't go out of town, so we're going to have to go into town again. And hope that Bran isn't at the hole about to freeze us all together. It's all
Looking
frozen.
down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Oh, poor fish. Frozen fish. They should be alright though. Once we all get unfrozen. But yeah. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run. Swim run. Oh.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. Yeah. What? There's nothing here but snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. town is destroyed. Everyone we've ever known is gone. Well, not quite, because, well, Gran's going to cause even more havoc than she already has, but yeah. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's going to be okay. Eventually it'll be okay. You can't just quit. What kind of, team are we now?
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky.
No Rolo, no Beck, and I'm stuck with Iggy.
He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
Yeah, but if he was nicer in the beginning, this may not have happened. At least the mutant part, anyway. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
We're just gonna end up freezing. Let's just rest
The
for a
boys
bit.
huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As
We're
it
just gonna
was, all they had energy for was to sit in
freeze.
silence, numb.
Oh dear. The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. Yeah, well, neither of us liked him anyway, so you're right. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologising. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. It's very true, that was just really, really fucking dodgy gunk, just lying all over the floor. Probably not best to touch it, but yeah. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. I did lose my
Iggy
temper.
motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's not exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. What? Why don't you just chill your beans and then we could have been friends and you could have avoided this? Simple. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
Iggy
fights?
shrugged.
It's something to do. Can't you find something better to do? You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. Well, it's not a perfect life with all the stuff that we've been through. It's just, yeah, life. Try to deal with it the best that we can. With its perfect little life. My life is not perfect. God, if you were a lot nicer, then technically you could be running around with us, you know, having a blast. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know. That's very true. With her one-word vocabulary.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
Oh dear. I get that
Iggy
impression.
cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh? Must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into
Any
a wide
excuse.
yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Really? You're in the freezing cold and you're thinking about getting some sleep in the freezing cold. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of this. Aren't you at least going to find somewhere like warm where you're not just going to sit and freeze to death?
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I thought you was going to say something mean then, to be honest, but yeah. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
Ah, dear. We're just gonna sleep in the freezing cold, and when it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread.
Ooh, are we going back to a memory?
Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug.
Or a dream, maybe?
He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes.
Oh god, why are we in a hazmat suit? Where is this going to be leading us?
Look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this.
Ooh, we're going to find some interesting facts out about his past life.
The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials.
His life wasn't as perfect with his parents, maybe.
Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive.
Ooh, that might be quite interesting, depending on how this
The day
goes.
he chose to abandon us.
Chose.
Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went.
Ah, so we might find out something more about his father and his father's disappearance.
He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next?
Oh, that's not a very happy
Luca
memory.
gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this.
Oh. So what did his dad get them all involved in that 6 years ago possibly caused the foul harvest?
She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you.
So did he try and go and save something or cause something? To do with the foul harvest, maybe?
Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son?
Yeah, how could you abandon us? Or go out and do whatever you did to cause all of this.
Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all.
No, something's happening. What is going
Luca
on?
placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in.
Or will you now?
Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
Are you sure about that? Or is that one promise that you couldn't keep?
With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Never to return again. Oh, who's this?
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a
Wakey
deep
wakey,
slumber,
eggs and
Iggy
bacon.
sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off
Whether
me.
it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts.
Oh, we didn't freeze to death in slumber.
The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
Oh, but you can insult the people that you know pretty well. You big-hatted, scarfy-necked, furball. That was awful. That was such an awful insult. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility? Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait. Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal. We just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or the other.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
That's it, Iggy. Go and get caught. Enough of the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back
Luca
home.
and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Snap whose fingers? Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold.
Some magic, all of a sudden the town's back to normal, we know exactly where we are, and Iggy's a mutant.
Until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place. Cold and disheartened.
Disappointment. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat. We don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Wheatwood. Or we teleported to some alternate universe. No, nothing as exciting as that. Just your grand, Mr. Nuncreed, and a lot of secrets. Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Carrot and his goons. Quite possibly that one. That is definitely a good one. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. So we are home in this horrible, deserted, icy area. You both grew up here. The town you've called your home for the past several years. It's a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Yes, you would need a whole town to replicate a whole town, but yeah, that's definitely how you do it. A whole town. But you were kids, so you never know. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labour power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. How would you notice? Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuality, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? That would be a mission and a half to do. Very, very complicated. Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to
Nat
uncover...
narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. It's always back to the source. The source is the water fountain. But why? Why'd you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way
He
they
looked
could.
down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home,
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back now. Simply head west through Wheatwood. Oh, Iggy's actually staying with us.
Chapter 6.
Right, I think we're going to leave it here at chapter 6. see how we go for next time. It's been quite interesting so far, and well, we might have found a way through the first big freeze, possibly through the second big freeze, which is caused by Gran, as we well know from the other chapter. Right, well, thank you all for watching. I look forward to making the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.